Right, okay. So we're in part 2 of the video because I tried pausing it and moved the screen thing in the wrong way. So, melty-faced Nazis. God, that got me when I was a kid. It's still pretty gruesome. This is what the Greeks were afraid of. They were marching into one of the hottest places on Earth in metal body armor, and they believed they were going into the part of the world where water vaporizes, spoils, and that their very bodily fluids would boil away and they would melt. Now, when I said Friday, Alexander inspired enough loyalty that his men would follow him into hell, I meant it literally because they followed him into India for a while. Well, no, India's hot and humid. It's terrible. I mean, to people who are used to a temperate climate, it's not. I mean, there's an old saying, only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the noonday sun. This was during the British Empire. Because the Indians knew to stay out of the hot part of the day, stay undercover, relax, and do their work in a crepuscular fashion, near dawn and near dusk, not in the middle of the day. So, Alexander's men tried to obey him. They wanted to obey him. They loved him. They trusted him. They admired him. He was their boss. He was their leader. He was their friend. He was touched by destiny, touched by the gods, but they couldn't bring themselves to follow him into a place where they would melt. Literally melt. So they begged their sergeants, who begged their officers, who begged Alexander, please, please turn around. We do not want to betray our oaths to you. We do not want to betray you, but we can't do this anymore. We followed you. We followed you from Greece, through Asia Minor, through Syria, through the Mesopotamia, through Iran, now across the Indus Valley. Please turn around. Please, please, if you love us, turn around. And for the first and only time in his life, Alexander has to accept a limit that he can't overpass, a limit that he can't overcome. That limit is India. So he turns back, and part of him is different because one of the special things about Alexander the Great was that he accepted no limits on him. But he went back to live with Roxane, his wife, his Persian wife, and ruled from Babylon. And at age 33, he dies. Now, we don't think it was an assassination. Sometimes people just die. You could have a heart defect. You could be, at any age, and you could run, and then just suddenly, there it goes. He dies. We don't think it was an assassination. So, what happens? Well, what happens is Alexander's generals don't keep the empire together. They form a dyad. And this is why it is called the Diadochi Kingdoms. A dyad is, do you know how many?
2.
No, that would be a biad. Dyad, I don't know. 4, maybe, I would think it's 4. In any event, what happens is the generals go to a big map, and it's like a game of Risk. This is mine, this is yours, this is mine, this is yours. And they divide the empire up. Antiochus gets Greece. Seleucus gets the majority of the Persian Empire. Ptolemy, with a P, of course, because you don't spell Ptolemy with just a T. No, it's a PT. Oleny. Ptolemy gets Egypt. And so Alexander's empire, doesn't survive him. But Hellenism persists to this very day, and we will continue that story tomorrow. With Alexander's empire divided, Greece itself is ultimately going to be divided again. So that's where we are. Any questions, comments, or thoughts? I see none. Thank you, and you can talk quietly.